Hello everybody, side quest Thursday video. There may be another one looking at, and I really hope the Kabam got on socials later on today, the Jean Grey and Bastion kind of gameplay. They normally post, don't they, like new champion coming and the gameplay, like how the champion kind of like moves, animations and stuff like that. Very excited for both champions. Should be a very fun time. Lots to get into and cover later on Friday, but it's always nice to see a bit of a, hype going into the live streams. As I've got high hopes for that live stream, but I'm this sneaky suspicion I've just got that I might be let down by what I'm personally hoping to see, and for other people in this community. But anyway, let's talk about side quests, some options. Final week, a cheese clutch option to take down, that's a saga option to take down Onslaught, and it worked for me, and a one shot, which we'll see in the video, but may not work for others. You may not have the champion in question, but let's have a look at the paths and the options. Make sure before going into doing the quest that you check out your Mysterium volume. You can see I am up to 44k. If I was going in with 44k, I'd be silly because I wouldn't be collecting the amount of Mysterium required. Well, I'd be going over the amount of Mysterium required. And yes, I am getting a bit bored with Mysterium and the Trader's Outpost, or I'd like to see more from the Trader's Outpost, or a rework of a lot of rewards and other things like that. But that's kind of like, this should have been announced, or kind of like hype about these changes should have been last month. That's what I said in the MCN yesterday. I felt that Kabam really needed to start a better hype for the community this year, last month. So Jan saying, this is what we plan to do. But yeah, that I think was a pre-recorded. And I was hoping that the February one would be, well, that was the one I was actually hoping for. The February one would be the kind of the hype, but it wasn't. Anyway, make sure to check it. Mysterium, buy stuff, whatever you want to do. Get some ISO, don't get some ISO. Pick a poison. Okay, going into side quest. Paths. Left, middle, right. Left side. This is a bit of, I don't think I found the better counter for this one, but you need more instant types of suppression of buffs. You got rich get richer, so using a Mystic champion with buffs like Juggernaut, for example, or and it's not like a necessity you have to use it. The main thing I would point out to anybody is Fuel the Fire. Whenever the enemy would get a Fury effect, they become passively unstoppable for 5 seconds. That's actually relatively annoying. How to deal with what is relatively annoying is to have something that's instantly suppressing the buffs. And there's quite a few. Shathra is very good at this. I would also recommend, I didn't use him, but I would recommend using, if I can find him in time, Symbiote Supreme. He is great. Yeah, Symbiote Supreme, because he will just shut down any buffs that are coming. So that's going to be a very effective option. You could use stagger champions like Dr. Doom, but it's not always so easy to do. You might even be better off with champions that have the grit buff. Not really looking at mystics. You could go, cosmics. You could use Beta Ray Bill. You could use champions that have the slow debuff as part of their kit, because you might be able to deal with, say, the unblockable or stuff like that. For me, I think it's the unblockable that was annoying. No, it wasn't the unblock. It was the unstoppable that was annoying. The unblockable is nothing really to worry about, providing you've got champions that are able to suppress with slow, like Silk, like She-Hulk, like, well, yeah, Cap Infinity War. That may have been a better approach. So maybe use those champions as a better kind of like alternative and option. For the center path, I used champions that dealt with power control. And those particular ones just goes back. I think Kabam do a copy paste for a lot of stuff, because effectively you're just using the same. Whether it's Gallon, whether or not it's Terex, Hulkling, Venompool, King Gru. So those really. And that's just mainly on the kind of power extortion. When the attacker's power is drained or stolen, they lose 1% of max health. Now, you don't have to really worry about that if you've got champions that kind of like are immune to any power control based things. If it plays into power alternator. So that's the kind of like choice that I went with for power control immune champs and dealing with it, just because it made it really, really darn easy. And we like making things really darn easy, don't we? So the final path is facing off against Wiccan, Scarlet Witch, and Mojo. Buffet over time. That's when you trigger, when you get a buff, they immediately nullify and drains, and they get a they gain a regeneration buff, and because that plays into getting a blockable, because they'd have a regen buff, that's kind of annoying. So you could look to do mystic based champions for this one, but to be honest, you could just use buff immune science champions rather than giving you like a million different options for this particular path. Science champions that are buff immune, or buff immune champions in general, will largely do this with any kind of like great ease of countering buffet over time. Or you could opt for that mystic method of suppression, but at the end of the day, it's a mystic path. Using science champions kind of makes more sense for the more damage output that you could do. I had great fun with using Deathless She-Hulk. I don't think I actually got round to actually use her, and I don't think I managed to use Titania, because Deathless She-Hulk basically destroyed the path, and that was very, very nice. So with all that, all those options, what are your options for Onslaught? Now, here's the cheese, right? Hulk, right? Hulk is just a complete cheese for this. I tried some tech champions, and Warlock does good in here. Now, the better options are going to be future Ant-Man and Havoc. Now, I don't have a Havoc severely ranked up to use here, but I would recommend the usage of a champion like future Ant-Man. Do I have him? No, I don't. Do I have him at 7-star? No, I don't. Do I have him at 6-star? No, I don't. Am I going to think of 5-star? I'd rather not. So using a cheese option like Hulk was great. I even used Deathless Vision, which actually wasn't too bad. He did a bit. He did what needed to be done. I actually kind of messed up with my Warlock fight when I first went in for the first time, and then I used him to kind of clear a chunk of the of it. So that was good, and I felt that kind of like yeah, that was just like the better option to use. Overall, Hulk, but I could have used future Ant-Man and other stuff. So there we go. That have been, that's not bad, that's not good English. That has been some options, some fun things, and other yeah, things. I'm looking forward to like seeing the end of this side quest, mainly because I just get a bit bored with it, to be honest, and I want to see what Kabam have got for the future. If they've got anything, high hopes I have for the live stream tomorrow, but we'll have to see. And yeah, that's been it for the video. Thank you very much for supporting the content as always. We're just going through this kind of spell, I think, and I'm also just trying to like figure out my time between work, because I work for a film and TV company, and it's very relentless work. A lot of work has to be done for the year that I'm with them, because I'm just covering someone's maternity leave. Whether or not it's going to be a full-time, it's going to be a permanent job after that, we'll have to see. So yeah, just a big year, and I'm trying to factor in a lot and work pretty hard on some stuff. So and then back to it with the channel. But I'm trying to find like some stuff here and there with kind of getting back to content I want to make. But it's very timely, and a lot of the stuff that I want to make, it's going to take a lot of time, and I'm just trying to find a good balance with time. But yeah, things will improve soon. Looking forward to kind of doing some stuff as well. Cheers everybody, have a great day, bye bye.